Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Narayana. Hari Om and greetings from Niagara Falls. Knowing what to do and not doing it is a painful experience. Knowing our nature is joy and not being cheerful, not being content is a painful experience. Everyone can relate to that. This is the reason why we organize yatras, we register for yatras, because it's experiential. When we are on our yatras, there is less theory and more application, yes? We don't study titiksha or endurance so much. We certainly practice titiksha or endurance a lot. Our lives are a yatra, and our lives are experiential. The more intentional we are with our experiences, the more infinite we will be. The less conscious we are with our experiences, nothing will ever change. Outside, everything will keep on changing, but we will not adapt to that change. We will not grow with that change. This insight shows the need for Manah Shodanam, purity of mind. In the world, when an entity needs more power, the fuel to create that power has to be more pure. There's a difference between the gasoline I put in my Honda Civic and the gasoline that will go in a BMW 7 Series and the gasoline that will go into a rocket ship, correct? That jet fuel is more and more and more pure to create more and more and more power. I'm going to pause for the sake of the internet. Can you tell Ma to come off, please? The same goes with peace. Everyone's with me? Yes? No? Okay, we're going to continue with our recording also. Okay, everyone can hear me and see me? Okay. The same goes with peace. The more peace we want to bring into our lives, the more peace we want to create in our lives, the more we need to have purity. In Shloka 5 of Manah Shodanam, we studied how we cannot blame anyone for our adharma, for our irresponsibility. Today on NPR, I had heard that 80% of Americans are clinically diagnosed as being overweight and or obese. That's spectrum. Now for some, there may be biological reasons For most, it would be irresponsibility with eating and exercising. And to blame, that would not help one to be dharmic, to be responsible. So in Shloka 5, this is brought up very strongly. For some, this adharma, the suffering that comes with adharma, creates a crisis. And crisis is not an ideal way to become thoughtful, but certainly crisis does make one inquire. A lot of us, when we've started falling, when we've hit the bottom, we've started asking, what are we doing? Who are we? When we complete our satsang today, I'll be speaking on Yoga Vashishta and a portion of that really focuses on Maya and creation. And all of Yoga Vashishta is actually Bhagavan Rama's inquiry into why there is suffering, who he is. And Rishi Vasishta guides him to be enlightened. Our Shastras are most lovely because even Bhagavan, the creator, whose breath is the Veda, even he, go to the Gurukula, as if become enlightened. The crisis is a catalyst to inquiry, and to see this in a worldly way, it's like a forest fire. A forest fire often is required to bring new nutrients to that forest. So don't blame anyone for what we are experiencing. The proactive person will grow, the reactive person will wait for that crisis, and then will grow. In Shloka 6, Swami Tejomayananda says, knowing we have to take responsibility for our lives, start. Start in a personal way, start in a small way. For all of those in our Setukari study group, this is what we had also studied in regards to creating a culture of peace. Creating a culture of peace could be by starting to help others be heard. Creating a culture of peace could be thinking about one's grandchildren. You start in a personal, small way. By doing so, we will shift our focus from the word difficult to the word worthwhile. Whenever we think of evolution, whenever we think of discipline, there's some words that come to mind. The first is simple. How do you be cheerful? Be cheerful. It's simple, but difficult. And that's where we usually get stuck. But here, Guruji's sharing is, let go of that focus on difficult, instead focus on worthwhile. The discipline of waking up earlier in the morning, the discipline of being more patient, the discipline of letting go of this idea that the world is more important than our self-development. In our Meditation and Life course, the whole first chapter is about self-mastery. From self-mastery, all else comes. Without self-mastery, nothing comes. Many of us are involved in a family life in some way, whether we're living with our parents or close to our siblings, we have our own kids. If you really care about your family, about your friends, you will remember that the micro changes the macro. It is individual voters that create a government. The more cheerful and content you are, the more cheer and contentment you can spread. It's not just words then. You're actually impacting your family and friends. That was Shloka 6. We continue on to Shloka 7, and this is a potent shloka with a lot of content. I'll chant each quarter. You please repeat. Manah Shodanam. Manah Shodanam. Sadhanani vadantiha. Sadhanani vadantiha. Yajno danam tapaschaiva. Yajno danam tapaschaiva. Japastirtam vratastatha. Japastirtam vratastatha. Together, and try to memorize this. This is a lovely shloka that can really guide how we should live. Manah Shodanam sadhanani vadantiha. Yajno danam tapaschaiva. Japastirtam vratastatha. The first quarter. Manah Shodanam. These are going to help cause the mind to be pure. So naturally those will be listed out. All of us have felt quietude of mind before. Yes? What caused you to feel that quietude of mind? And if you think honestly about it, you won't come up with an outer answer. This will be an inner answer. And what this shows at a more subtle level, if our minds' natures were to be restless, we would never be able to make our minds quiet. Correct? If I can change the nature of sugar to go from sweet to sour, that means the nature of sugar is not sweet then, because I can change it. So if my mind can be quiet, and every one of you said you felt a quiet mind many, many years and decades ago when you were just an infant and didn't have responsibilities, that shows that our mind's nature is not restlessness. We hear that a lot, isn't it? My mind is restless. This is how my mind is. But you have also felt quietude of mind. So there are causes to quietude of mind, and this is called sadhanani. This is called sadhana vadantiha. These practices are known as sadhana. Now you've heard this before. I'm going to give you 3 sads. So follow along. The first is sadhya. Sadhya means peace. This is the destination. This is the purpose. Sadhya. And if there's a destination, there naturally has to be a path, a practice that is sadhana. The sadhana leads me to the sadhya. The path leads me to peace. And if someone is using sadhana, they're called a sadhaka. That is a seeker. That person, that personality, follows the path to reach peace. The quietude of mind here is our sadhya. So what is the sadhana to get to that quietude of mind? So what is listed here? The first 3 are coming directly from Bhagavad Gita, and we've all studied these words a lot. A lot of us have studied in the Bhagavad Gita course together. Yajna. When I say yajna, what do you think of? We think of those who are in the Bhagavad Gita course, those who are thinking, they know this means dedicating, but typically we think of a ritual. We think of fire. Yajna is when one knows that the cause pervades the effect. So all around me, this is the effect. Yes, I'm the effect, as in I'm creation. The computer, the awesome backdrop, the nature around us, all of this is an effect. This is all created. And someone engaged in yajna knows the cause pervades the effect. The creator is in creation. Yes. So can you have any negativity towards people then? Can you have any negativity towards articles, beings, circumstances if you know that this is all God? This is all Ishvara. So now the verb dedicating makes more sense. I'm dedicating myself to the Creator because without the Creator, there's nothing. Yajna. What's really, really, really cool about this word yajna is tomorrow in our Upadesha Sara class, the shloka that's mentioned in the commentary, Jagata Ishta Di Yukta Sevanam Ashtamurti Brid Deva Pujanam, that's coming tomorrow. Which is so cool that here we are with our Yatri Satsang and that perfect connection to Upadesha Sara. In Upadesha Sara, what Sri Ramana says is that this multiverse is actually Isha. This multiverse is the divine, and by serving the multiverse, by serving people, we are serving the Supreme Self. Yajna. The next sadhana that's mentioned is dana. And dana is a word that we are sensitive about, in the sense that we don't like to discuss this too much, which doesn't really make sense. Money is just a thing. Why are we so secretive about money, about our loans, about our income, and so on and so forth? Dana is to live in the minimum. Dana is to live in the minimum so that I'm able to give the maximum. And I brought up finances first because that's where most of our thoughts are going. We go to school to get a job, to buy stuff. But for someone whose focus is on living in the minimum, they don't go to school to get a job. They go to school to contribute. And they're engaged in that profession to be able to share. Dana means sharing. Living in the minimum helps one to give the maximum. And dana here is deeper. What about sleep? What if I can train myself to sleep less, so live in the minimum, so I can be awake more to serve more? What if I can train myself to never feel lonely, live in the minimum? I don't need a lot of friends. I don't need a lot of worldliness. Then I can help other people feel that aloneness rather than loneliness. To live in the minimum. Next is tapa. Swami Tejomayananda shares tapa is to be able to focus. Focusing means conserving our energy, conserving our thoughts from going everywhere. Is multitasking tapa? A lot of people take pride in that, isn't it? I sometimes hear Devis talk about that I like our Devi has multiple arms, so they're writing here and reading here and cooking here and talking here and moving here. One shouldn't compare themselves to the Devi because they multitask. If we really want to compare ourselves to the Devi, it's by unitasking, not by multitasking. The world has tricked us, isn't it? We take pride in our weakness. Tapa is to focus. It means not being distracted. And that is easy when we're enjoying what we do. When we enjoy our schoolwork, when we enjoy our seva, when we enjoy our professional work, why would I be distracted? So focusing becomes quite natural then. Each of these three sadhanas, yajna, dana, tapa, so realistic, so practical. Next, what is listed is japaha. Japa, Bhagavan Krishna says, amongst all of the yajnas, japa is the greatest. And the reason japa is the greatest, because this is most universal. Do you have to say Rama to be enlightened? Can you say Ram? Can you say Mara? We have examples in our scriptures of people who said the exact opposite, but their feeling was for joy. Who cares what their mouth said? If their heart is feeling that I want to be joyous, that's what our Creator is able to tune into. Shared more technically, Nama, japa is a repetition of a divine phrase, a divine name. Nama helps one to go deeper into life to the rupa, which is to the form of our Creator. When I'm focusing on the rupa, that helps me go deeper into the guna. What is the qualities of this form? So first it's Rama, then it's the form of Rama, that he's tall, that he's one with a slight smile. Then I go to the qualities. He's known as Priya Darshini. He never agitates anyone. Jita Krodaha. He has conquered his anger. Nama, Rupa, Guna, and what's the last? Dhamma. Dhamma is the abode or the resting place of this Nama, Rupa, Guna. And where is the Dhamma of our Creator, of Bhagavan? See, too many of us think it's Vaikunta, Kailasha, because we externalize. Where's the Dhamma? You. To think otherwise is us subtly justifying our lack of enlightenment. The Dhamma is you. So japa is not that light. The next is tirtha. Tirtha is a technical word which means taranti anena iti tirtha. That which helps you to cross over. That which helps you to cross over vices and finally to cross over ignorance. Tirtha. And all of you have been on a Chinmaya Inspiration Yatra. I really feel that our yatras are fulfilling what a tirtha is. Have any of you become a worse person since the yatra? Please don't say yes. Please don't say it. I feel that we've become better people since the yatra. So we're fulfilling this tirtha, helping me to cross over my dependencies, my smallness. And finally, what is shared is vrata. And vrata means vows, vratas mean sankalpas. A vrata is when my mind listens to my intellect. That's what a vrata is. When Prince Arjuna starts to listen to Bhagavan Krishna, that's his vrata. We again externalize vratas as not eating something, not saying something. That's fine as long as the mind is listening to the intellect in a more permanent way. That it's not an event, but it's triggering this movement. And when the mind and intellect come together, that is felt as intuition. Intuition is another word for one becomes faithful. When the mind and intellect are separate, that is belief. When the mind and intellect are integrated, that is faith. With faith comes understanding. In the Meditation in Life course, in the Vedanta and Ramayana course, we discussed that death is misunderstanding. So if vrata can help me to understand, I start being more courageous, I start being more fearless. Heavy shloka, no? 6 sadhanas. Really, we should just stop studying now and just practice these. What else will we practice? But there is one more sadhana that is emphasized on in shloka 8. My favorite words is brought out now. Vichara sadhanam shreshtam. Vichara sadhanam shreshtam. Varnyatetra yathamati. Varnyatetra yathamati. Mahatvam tasya vei proktam. Mahatvam tasya vei proktam. Krishnena swayameva hi. Krishnena swayameva hi. Together. Vichara sadhanam shreshtam. Varnyatetra yatamati. Mahatvam tasya vei proktam. Krishnena swayameva hi. What this shloka shares is the Shreshta sadhana, the best path, the best discipline is vichara. And this word vichara is made up of 2 words. It's made up of 1 word. The word viveka is made up of 2. The root vich means to separate. And that is separating oneself from separation. That's what vichara is. Anyone engaged in vichara is moving towards oneness, not moving towards separation. The word viveka means vishesha vichara. That's a distinct, a special separation that is between the relative and the absolute. Such a personality, their priority is enlightenment and nothing other than that. There's only one purusha artha. There's only one meaning to being alive, to being a human. That is freedom. Vichara sadhanam shreshtam varnyatetra yatamati. Why this is being praised here? Because vichara helps to develop a sukshma buddhi. I've shared with all of you that there's 3 gauges of purity of mind, Manah Shodanam. One is to have chitta shuddhata, which is to have a balanced mind. Then chitta ekagrata, which is to have a focused mind. And the last is chitta sukshmata, which is to have a reflective mind. A sukshma manaha, a sukshma buddhihi, sees the world as it is, sees people's communication as it is. The opposite of this is known as tikshna mati or tikshna buddhi, which is having a sharp mind, a sharp intellect. That sharpness is only to use people. Someone who's sharp, someone who's clever, they're capitalistic in thinking, how do I capitalize on this person's innocence? How do I capitalize on this person's suffering? How do I capitalize from this person's gender? There's that undertone of selfishness. But in sukshma, when I see the world as it is, I start to feel that creator. Mahatvam tasya vei proktam. This is known as the Mahatva as the highest sadhana, and this is known as the highest sadhana for its directness. For its directness. We will find later in Upadeshasara that Sri Ramana will share, instead of purifying the mind, ask yourself, are you the mind? If I have to purify the mind, that requires a lot of effort. What if I'm not the mind? That's much more direct, no? But you have to have a pure mind to be able to. No, you're not the mind. But what's being appreciated here is that directness. With vichara, doing is not required. See, in the other sadhanas, like tirtha, you have to register, you have to fly. Japa, you still have to have a mala, you have to repeat. In vichara, you don't have to do a karma. What we have to do is what we're already doing, which is thinking, but we have to change the direction from enquiry to inquiry. So it's most direct. Krishnena swayam evahi, Bhagavan Krishna himself shares the beauty, the authority of vichara. I had mentioned this in yesterday's meditation and life course. In chapter 4, Bhagavan Krishna says, Papebhyaha papakrittamaha. Papebhyaha means among sinners, papakrittamaha. The worst sinner among sinners can still be saved, can still feel serenity through knowledge, and hear what's being shared, through vichara, through Manah Shodanam. Oh.